Rob, it's many months since we played that game against La Rochelle to guarantee getting into the quarter-finals for only the second time, but it's here now. The sun's shining. Things are looking positive.
Yeah, obviously, we've probably been looking forward to this game in some ways for a while, but in other ways we've had to really focus on our Premiership performances, because obviously it's the Premiership performances that have allowed us to kind of get to this point and to organise ourselves in the way we want to. Now the focus has to obviously fully shift onto Europe. This should be our biggest game of the season. We should be thinking the players will be getting ready to play their biggest performance of the season, and we've got to hope and expect that we'll see something special on the pitch at the weekend. You've
been in a European quarter-final before. It didn't quite go to plan, but this time it seems the whole club is in a much better place, better prepared. The squad is stronger.
Yeah, we are, and things that you're seeing in the Premiership and the way we perform through the European pool would say that. But it's still always the same, it still comes down to knockout rugby. We actually, in our last European quarter-final, played exceptionally well on the day. We came up as close as you can come to winning by conceding a conversion from the touchline in the last second of the game. That's as tough as it can be, and so we're getting there. Most things say that we're looking good. We've fortunately got here with a relatively fit squad, which is obviously important, and we've got here with some decent form behind us, which again is important. But that said, it's still a one-off game, and we've got to make sure that we get everything right and focus on ourselves really, really well. And don't let anything distract us.
And from past experience, Northampton, you only have to look at their team sheet at the weekend. It will be packed with international names and danger.
Exactly, and I think that's the only way you can prepare. You've got to prepare for the very best Northampton, because there's no reason why they can't make that happen on the day, and that's what we've got to prepare for. We've got to try and create the best Exeter Chiefs team we can. The best Exeter Chiefs team we can. We can't ask for anything more than that. If we go out there and perform to our ability, and when we lose because Northampton outperform, that's what sport's about. But that's what we've got to focus on. We've got to focus on being the best we can be.
Rob, a lot of debate on their loose head issue this week. What's your take on it, and what involvement have the club had in all of that?
Well, I think to our credit, we've had a very positive involvement in it. When we've been contacted by EPCR about would we support a change in regulation to allow them to register another prop, we said yes. So as far as I'm concerned, we've done everything we can do. We know the player that they've registered. He played here against us a couple of weeks ago. Did fine. There was no safety issues. So we're probably not quite seeing the issues that Northampton are seeing. But
you're laughing at the mind games that are coming out of there.
I'm laughing at. Well, I'm laughing a little bit. Because I said a couple of weeks ago, we had a 20-year-old tight head prop who played his first ever Premiership minutes against Northampton's frontline 23 at Franklin's Gardens, and there wasn't one comment made in the press about it, about whether we should have done it because it was safe or not safe. And yet all we're seeing this week is Northampton saying there are big safety issues and it's going to depend on our extra approach to scrum. Well, that can't be anything else but a distraction that we've got to make sure we don't let happen.
The other news this week is that the incentive, if you do win, is a semi-final here at Sandy Park, albeit no crowd, but that must be an incentive for the lads and for yourself.
Yeah, well, obviously it's fantastic to have to be able to take away any of the issues around travelling and bus travel and hotels, especially at the moment. Obviously, we would love it to be in front of supporters, which obviously would make it even more of a fantastic occasion. But on the whole, things are in our hands, and that's why we've got to make sure we target this game with everything we've got, because there is a pathway for us if we do well, and we just got to take these opportunities when they come. They're golden opportunities to have a season that players may never have another opportunity to be involved in. So we've just got to decide we're going to take everything with two hands.
And you've talked about the 7 games. I think 51 players you've used. That shows the strength of the squad, and everyone has played their part during that time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think we've done it really well. I can't credit the players enough for their emotional, physical commitment to it all. Right from the start, we knew it was going to be a challenging block of games. We said the opportunity was to roll your sleeves up and face every challenge and really enjoy it, and to a man they have. They've trained well in between. They've brought together everything we've done. They've enjoyed the challenges around the travel of buses and different things around hotels and all the challenges that have been there, and they've put in some really big performances. We've managed to work within the regulations really well. We haven't come near to 180 minutes in 3 games for any player. Certainly no player started 3 games in over a midweek period. Nobody started 7 games. We've dealt with everything really well as a squad. And I say I can't credit them enough, but now we almost have to stop patting ourselves on the back and go, right, it's a little bit of a restart now. How are we going to fire ourselves into this game, this quarter-final? And I'm watching the guys train. There's loads of energy there. We just got to make sure that all that energy is aligned in a really good way come Sunday afternoon.
You said after Sunday up at Saracens, objective one was done in terms of home semi-final and finishing top again. Do you now have different objectives over these coming weeks, because the games are going to come thick and fast and they're big games?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is that every objective will change depending on every weekend result. So you can already see, there's so many ways that everything flips and changes week by week. As an example, if we lose to Northampton, all of a sudden there's no game next weekend. That changes then how we get kind of game ready and approach into the Premiership semi-final. And so that changes one scenario. If we beat Northampton, then we've then got a Premiership semi-final. Well, that means that a midweek game post the semi-final is a different challenge to one with 9 days preparation, as if we lose. So that changes that. Then if we get to the semi-final and we win, that then changes, because all of a sudden there's a European final to fit in between a Premiership semi and a Premiership final. And so all the approach around everything now will vary just week by week, result by result. And I don't mind that. I quite like that scenario. I don't think we need to plan too far ahead. I think it keeps it fresh for the players. I think it keeps it exciting for the players and everyone involved. And that's just something we'll have to deal with as we get through week by week results.